What's up, witches? It's me, your boy, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about a big ass list of Halloween, well, iconic Halloween movies that everyone should watch. Now this oh my god, this list has 40 movies on it. However, like there's a couple of series and stuff, so it cuts it down a little bit. But yeah, we've got a lot to get through, so I'm just going to be super quick with this, and it's not really in any particular order because I sort of just thought about it really quickly and then just added it to a list. So it's all over the place in terms of like age rating, theme, genre. So first of all, we have Casper, of course, the iconic ghost. Christina Ricci's in this, who is a horror icon, also known as Wednesday in the Addams Family. Everyone loves her. She's so amazing. She's also amazing in this film. The next film is Friday the 13th, if you want some cringy, cheesy slasher. And this movie is honestly so cheesy. It's not even scary at all. So just watch it if you feel like watching some idiotic teenagers get killed. The next is Halloween, the John Carpenter original. I actually haven't seen this film yet, but I'm planning to this year. Scream, but directed by Wes Craven, of course, an icon. I love him, and this movie is so good. Honestly, it sort of delves into like the anatomy of horror and horror cliches and tropes and stuff. And yeah, you should definitely watch it if you like horror as a genre and you want to appreciate it. The next film is The Ring, the American remake, not the Japanese original, because that's not as good in my opinion. But yeah, if you want a super atmospheric mystery horror sort of thing, definitely watch The Ring because it is so good. I love it. Next up is Goosebumps, the 2015 film with Jack Black in it. I love this film. When I first watched it, I went to the cinema with my friends and it was so good because I have loved Goosebumps for so many years. I used to collect them. I adored them so much. The next is Beetlejuice, which I also haven't seen yet because I suck, but I'm super excited to watch this. It's directed by Tim Burton. Of course, we love him, and it has Winona Ryder in it, who is also a horror icon. Just so good. I am so excited to watch this film, and just the aesthetic of it in general looks so gorgeous. We also, of course, have A Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven's iconic film. I loved it so much. Freddy Krueger genuinely scares me. Like, I think he's pretty creepy. This movie is really cheesy, really cringy, but I actually got pretty scared when I watched it, so you know, it all depends on what scares you. And that scene with Johnny Depp, oh my god, that was crazy. We have the queen of all horror animation films, Coraline. I love her so much, so much. Honestly, I've been obsessed with this movie since it literally came out. It came out in 2009, which was 10 years ago. I was 6. I definitely watched this movie like really young. I remember watching it. I was terrified of it, but at the same time intrigued. Like I think this was my gateway drug into horror, you know. Oh, it's just so iconic, so amazing, and everyone loves Coraline. I also have The Evil Dead, which is another iconic horror movie, not necessarily specifically just for Halloween. However, I wanted to add it to this list because I love Sam Raimi. We also have The Nightmare Before Christmas and Corpse Bride. There's not much I really need to say about that. I mean, if you love Tim Burton, if you love Henry Selick, if you love Coraline, you have to watch both of these films. Another super iconic Tim Burton movie is Dark Shadows. This one got really bad ratings, and I'm so upset by that because I love this film so much. It's kind of shitty, but also in a great way. Like Johnny Depp as a vampire in the 60s or 70s. Oh, it's just so good. You have to watch it. I also have childhood trauma inducing film The Witches. I love this so much. This movie reminds me of my nan because we used to watch it together all the time. Honestly, just so creepy to this day and so iconic. I have a fairly new film, which is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which only came out like a couple of months ago, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. I rated it a 7 out of 10, so I think it's like okay, it was pretty good. However, I think the jump scares sort of ruined it. So if you're looking for a not necessarily nuanced horror, but more of just like a Halloween vibes movie, definitely watch this one. Sleepy Hollow, another Tim Burton classic. I love this film so much. Ichabod Crane is the most adorable little science guy. I love him so much. He's amazing. And of course, Christina Ricci is also in this movie because icon, love her as Katrina Van Tassel. I love her so much. If you like period pieces, big dresses, and trees with blood in them, watch this film. I also have a few like um Nickelodeon and Disney Channel sort of films, some of which I haven't seen, so I'm just going to speed through them. We've got Halloween Town, My Babysitter's a Vampire, Mostly Ghostly, The Worst Witch, the 1986 version, and The Haunting Hour, Don't Think About It. Now, The Haunting Hour, I remember very vividly watching as a child. I absolutely loved it. It's basically about this evil book that, like, brings this weird creature to life, and it's got what's her face in it, I don't know her name. It's got Emily Osment in it from Hannah Montana, but as a goth, and honestly I love her look so much. She looks like a modern day e-girl, and I would actually, wear her outfits. Like, this movie is so good. Like, if you want to watch it with like a younger sibling, watch it just to appreciate the outfits, honestly. I also have The Craft, which is an iconic witch movie. I kind of it I think I didn't really enjoy this film as much as I thought I would, so I'm definitely going to rewatch it again this Halloween. But it is so iconic. It has some great lines, it has some great aesthetics and great outfits, of course, because it is the 90s we're talking about. So yeah, if you haven't seen this film already, you should definitely watch it. I also have The Addams Family and Addams Family Values. Honestly, what more do I need to say? I also have Into the Woods, and this is probably just because I wanted to put a musical on this list and because it's kind of got a spooky atmosphere. I love the songs in this, especially Agony. Like, me and my best friend in secondary school, we used to sing it together all the time and annoy everyone because it's just so amazing, honestly. I have the entire Harry Potter series because it's not specifically a Halloween series. However, it's magic. It gets dark. There's like werewolves and dragons and shit in it, and of course wizards. So you might as well watch it. How could I make a Halloween list without adding Hocus Pocus in it? Oh, the Three Witches, love them so much. They're so cool. They're so amazing. The blonde one is definitely my favorite. Love her a lot. There's not much else to say. I had to include Frankenweenie as well, probably one of Tim Burton's more underrated ones, and by that I mean I feel like a lot of people watched it but no one really talks about it anymore. It's all in black and white and it's like this really creepy animation style, and I think it's definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it yet. The next two are more kids' movies, and they are Monster House and Paranorman. Paranorman was made by the same studio that made Coraline, and Monster House is like a really weirdly animated, like 3D movie. It's so weird. If you haven't seen it already, why haven't you? It's just so good. It's set at Halloween. It's about a house that eats people, and honestly, it's got quite a dark story for a kids movie. The last two on this list are fairly underrated films, I would say. We have Trick or Treat, which is just Trick or Treat, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm told is really, really good, so I absolutely have to watch it. And the next one is The Monster Squad, and I feel like a lot of like 80s kids definitely watched it, but I feel like not many people like my age, which is 16 by the way, have seen this film, and honestly, you really need to. It's so good, it's so cringy and cheesy, and yeah, it's just a monster movie. It's got vampires, it's got a werewolf, and it's more importantly, it's got a group of kids, and it's set in the 80s. If you like Stranger Things, watch this movie. So that is the end of my list. I can't believe I finally got through it, like under 20 minutes. That took so long to make, to think about. It's gonna take a long time to edit. Oh, okay. But I did it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If I missed out any, I'm so sorry. Honestly, I had to remake this list so many times because I kept forgetting them. So if you can think of any more that I've forgotten about, or maybe just ones that are specifically classics to you, please tell me about them because I can never get enough of Halloween movies to watch at Halloween. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you later. Peace out, bitches.